Janet with Try It Like It Created, and today I'm here making a Valentine's Day card with products from Maker's Movement. And so I'm using the rose die. It looks like this, and I just took it out of my crossover 2 and I slid out the metal plate just so it won't glare for you for this process, but it's totally not necessary to do so for this step. And so what I've done is I've cut with a darker red. Let me get the light in here a little better. Okay, so what I've done is I've cut out the same die with the darker red, and I'm using the outline, and then I've gone ahead and cut it using a lighter red or pink. And what I'm going to do now is, before I move the excess paper away, I'm going to take this and kind of line it up a little bit with the cut. All right, and then I'm going to use some washi tape to kind of hold that all in place before I separate it out, and then that way it'll be a lot easier to glue those inset pieces together. So I'm just lining everything up, making sure I've got some tape on each piece. So those need it, and those need it. All right, and then so here's my last one. Get it under that tape there. All right. And so I'm going to send this one right through the center here, and then find out what I'm missing. All right, and so you just, like, I'm rubbing it down into that lighter pink paper just to make sure that it holds on before I start trying to take things apart here. All right, so, and the reason I'm using washi tape is that I don't want it to tear my cardstock. So hopefully that makes sense as well. All right, so let's flip this over and see if I can remove. So what I don't want here is this cut piece. All right, and it looks like I may not have cut the die deep enough, but here you're going to get the sense of what I'm doing by removing these pieces here. Probably should have checked the cut before I moved on, but all right, so there you're getting a sense of what's going to happen here. Okay, so I have put my flower together using the washi tape to hold the pieces in the center. Now, the trick I showed you, let me tell you how much time that saves you, because otherwise what you end up with is your cutout like so, which is very pretty, and a bunch of pieces that you then have to kind of figure out how and where do these things fit. So if you like doing a puzzle and you have the time, you know, you can do it that way. But that frustrated me, so I came up with this technique using the tape. And then I got this beautiful paper pack from Maker's Movement, and I just flip through here and show you some of the coordinating papers. I can hang on to this thing. Okay, I just love how this relates to the die, and how I think something with a white center might look really nice on there. Don't really care for this. This is kind of a glaring contrast of color, but I do kind of like that darker with it, maybe with a white center. And of course you don't have to do the centers at all. You can just use the outline. It, you know, coordinates well with a background that might not be quite so bold, I guess is what I'm going to say. But ultimately what I'm going to do is end up using this sentiment that comes in the paper pack, and so you can see you get duplicates of pieces here. All right, and it's on the opposite side of the striped paper, which I'm going to use. and kind of do something like this for the card. So let me cut things out and I'll be right back. I have all my pieces cut out here, and now we're going to put it all together. So I'm going to start with my tape runner. I have some foam tape, and then I have some liquid glue off to the side. So the liquid glue is going to be used to help put this down, because I'll be able to move it around a little bit and get the pieces where I want them. So I'm going to set that aside, and I'm just going to start with my card base, and I am going to place this down with some tape runner. So just quick and easy. I'm going to attach some tape to the back of the pink. Anything hanging over, like that little piece there, just fold it over to the back and it won't show. Alright, so then I'm just going to kind of eyeball this on two sides. And once I like what I have, I'll stick that down. So then I'm going to do the same with the striped piece. And remember, my sentiments came from the back side. So I had to be clever about how I cut this, and if I can find it here, I'll show you. So what I did was cut off the sentiment first, and then, here we go. All right, so I cut off the sentiment first, and then, no, this is not the piece I want. I'll have to find that later. Anyway, I cut off, here we go. All right, sorry. I cut off the sentiment first. And then when I went to cut this piece out here, you can see that I saved this because I have a couple of more pieces here that I can use. So I wanted to be clever about what I did and that I wasn't wasting. So hopefully that makes sense. Don't think I'm explaining it as well as I could. But there we go. All right, now for this piece, I want to lift it up with some foam tape, and so I'm going to start by putting some pieces on here that I had left over and see if I can get those to work first. All right, so I just can get the one off of there right now. So, all righty. So sticking down the foam tape to the back of the card. I think that'll be good enough. And then we want to pick this backing off. And then I'm going to center it on my white piece. So I'm just really playing with colors here back and forth. Using the whites and the pinks, and since they all match, there, I think that's good enough. Okay, then we're going to put some tape runner on the back of this, and place that up in the corner of my card. All right, and you know, just using the paper pack, that is a nice card, and it looks like I'm a little crooked here. I don't know if it's my eyesight or the actual thing, but okay, I'm going to call that good. So there, just like that, nice card, and we could stop there, but I'm going to use the rose as well. So I want to put that down here in the corner. So on the back here, I am going to make sure that I have liquid glue on every piece. All right, and then now you could use your finger. This glue that I'm using is the best glue ever, and it's a really tacky glue, and so it will stick to my fingers. So what I'm going to do is just bring in a scrap here, and using this silicone tool, I'm just going to rub it over the surface. That way I'm not getting it on my finger. Okay, and then I'm going to take that rose, move this out of the way, all right, and decide how I want this down here. All right, and then I'm going to stick that on my card. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and remove my washi tape slowly. All right, it looked like I had a little bit of tearing on the dark pink paper, but so we just want to be careful and go slow. Make sure we're not lifting up too much here. Yeah, there, I got another little piece off the top. All right, let's rip it so it doesn't matter. And then we're going to go in here and just move things around a little bit so that the white isn't showing through as much. Okay, and that's why we chose to use the liquid glue. Alright, so I just want to make sure I've got everything placed as well as I can. Alright, like so.